Today we will be looking at the newly released iPad Air with an M1 chip, a product that actually fits smack dab into the middle of my workflow, especially with the newly added M1 chip. To complete the package, I also ordered the Apple Pencil 2 after working with the first generation for 4 years, and on top of that I spent another €300 on the Magic Keyboard in white. So let's actually begin by unboxing the iPad Air first. The Air comes in 5 different colors, and like everyone else I wanted to be super unique and ordered the blue one. But contrary to most other creators here on YouTube, I went with 64 gigs and not the 256 one, due to me using external SSD drives for all my work related things. And since USB-C is fast enough to work with even 4K files over an external SSD, I would rather buy another Samsung T5 drive than upgrading to the higher storage model. Also, in the end, this makes switching between devices a lot easier, and you can bring all your files from one device to another in seconds, hassle-free. The blue color is fantastic. It's even deeper and richer than I expected it to be. I like what Apple is doing with its color variants in the last 2 generations. I especially like the midnight blue they used on the iPhone 13. This black with a shimmer of blue when light is falling onto it is a great color combination. Inside the box we get the familiar things such as the manual, a USB-C to C cable and the 20-watt charging brick. Let's oogle at the blue color and the iPad in general a bit more before unboxing the next few things. Setting up the iPad is as easy as it can be, as soon as you are already in the Apple ecosystem. Since I sold my old iPad to a friend who always wanted to try creating on one, I have to set it up by hand. Speaking of hand, coming from an iPad Series 6, the home button is gone and Touch ID has been moved to the top power button. Since it can and will be used in both vertical and horizontal mode, I'm going to use both of my index fingers for Touch ID, right for horizontal and left for vertical. After that, I will restore most of the things from the iCloud. While this is happening, let's take a look at all the other wonderful and pricey things I bought to increase productivity with the M1 iPad Air. First, the Apple Pencil, in its 2nd generation. For most of the iPad users, this will be a very old and boring thing, since I have been using the Gen 1 variant for almost 4 years. This is quite a difference, not only in handling, but also in feeling while drawing and in storing the pen as well as charging. As someone who not only creates a lot of illustrations for my own products, but also for a lot of clients out there, as well as frame-by-frame animation for usage in After Effects and more, the pencil is way more than just a simple stylus. This is roughly 50% of my regular income, and as far as I can tell right now, it feels good in the hands, and most of its upgrades above its older generation are well thought through. And now to the thing that in my opinion is more than just a fancy keyboard for the iPad. Coming in at half the price of the M1 iPad Air, the Magic Keyboard, and in this case the white version, is a productivity machine like I've never seen before. This thing alone makes the iPad become so much more than just a media consumption device. The iPad snaps onto the stand flawlessly, and from there, well, it's connected. With one simple move you created a fully fledged out notebook with the power of the M1 chip. The trackpad is leaps better than anything I've seen on the PC side in the last couple of years, but it isn't as good as the MacBook's integrated one. But the keyboard is just wow. This is the same scissor keyboard as in my M1 MacBook Pro, and the typing feels exactly the same. The keys have a very nice and very short pressure point. They are backlit, making this the perfect device to ride on trains or late into the night. Now that the iPad has finally downloaded all of my iCloud files, let's talk a bit more about the iPad in general. To most people, The Air is just a down-spec'd iPad Pro, without the 120Hz display, without LiDAR and without the fancy 4-speaker system. But let's be real, I ordered this as a working machine, and with the M1 inside, this is now as powerful as my normal MacBook Pro, which I use for my everyday work. This is, and I don't know, good enough? I actually don't care about benchmark tests or multi-core scores. I know how fast the M1 is in caching, rendering, opening and while using it. It's a monster chip inside of a mobile 10.9-inch tablet. Speaking of 10.9 inch, the screen is gorgeous. It's an almost 11-inch liquid retina display with 2360 by 1640 pixels with a max brightness of 500 nits. Creating content, typing, watching YouTube, playing games, surfing the web, or just being immersed in a new F1 season is gorgeous on this screen. And to further enhance my pleasure with the screen, I ordered myself a pair of Paperlike screen protectors. I already used the same ones on my old iPad Series 6 and I really liked how they emulated the feeling of drawing on paper. These ones are much bigger but still feel the same as the old ones. If you are serious in creating on the iPad and don't have a problem with a screen protector creating a matte overlay, then I would highly recommend them to you. And no, I am not sponsored or affiliated with them, I just enjoy working with and on them for the last 4 years. The last thing I want to mention before ending this unboxing / semi-review is the rear camera. Yeah, I get why they have included the camera. Sometimes this is a useful tool if you need to take a quick snapshot of something to work further with it. And maybe even a center stage function can be useful in some situations, but I don't care about a front-facing camera. It's absolutely fine in my opinion. What I don't like is the bump the rear-facing camera creates, especially if you are an artist and want to draw, laying your iPad flat on the table. This creates shake and makes it unstable. I don't get why there isn't one version without a camera on the back. Yeah, I know this can be reduced by using a folio, but simply eliminating the camera or minimizing the bump would be so much better for artists using an iPad. What I haven't looked at in this video is using the iPad over a period of time as my sole content creation device, meaning if this is now actually the time where it could function as a notebook replacement. This will be a video coming in the future as soon as I get warm with LumaFusion and its weird counterintuitive handling characteristics when coming from DaVinci Resolve. Other than that, expect a video on the long-term usage with this iPad as well as some more shorter videos on using the iPad in a commercial environment. As always, if you have any questions regarding the iPad, working with an iPad or maybe even animating on it, feel free to ask me in the comments and I will try to answer it there. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Leech and I'm off writing the next scripts. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. There are plenty more of this type of content and many other things available for you to watch. Have a great day, see you around and goodbye.